not prepared for this at all. I know I'm gonna fake all the storage round one, but like... So, hi, editing Catfish here. I don't usually include post-recorded commentary in videos where I had my mic on, but this one had a bunch of background noise, so if I'm gonna mute that, might as well talk a bit. The reason why I went and faked storage round one is because the previous round, a crewmate got meta cleared for doing all of storage in the dark. I called reactor just to stall for a bit of time and to make it look like noob imps. I don't know why Grey is taking back their clear on me if it's 15 seconds old. I would have been with them 15 seconds ago in storage. So when Circuit said what they did about White hugging the edge of the cage going down towards D node, I thought White was doomed at this point because they'd already claimed office, like presumably pretty much off rip given their timing. So that's a direct conflict of info. I thought White was pretty much doomed here. Here I asked the question about the other people, mostly to distract from that, but I thought White was basically done for here. So here I say White, Krish, is an imposter as a sort of half joke. One, for two reasons. One, because I'm setting up for if White gets voted out later, but also I'm saying it like a sort of half joke to make it look like there isn't actually real evidence against Krish, even though there absolutely was, and they probably should have been voted out round one here. So here I'm the only person with admin info. I see one specie, two comms, so I take that as a perfect chance to kill the office person and then place it left side. And just my luck, Sunny is in Boiler, despite there being no one there or in O2 or in ELEC on admin. So now I have two options. I was originally going to just hard accuse Sonny, but I feel like I would have done that earlier if I was a crewmate. So I changed my story slightly, saying that I thought the body was in boiler, but I only saw the report button. Basically, what I'm trying to claim here is that I'm standing on the left side entrance to boiler, in which case it could technically be in canisters, I think, just based on how report ranges work. White being a specie person was also really good here. That they didn't kill this round and got that clear. Because that meant they weren't sus 2 rounds in a row, so that was good. Here, I say that I think Banana sounds crew, mostly just to see if I could bait them into skipping, just as one of those sort of like clearer person who you absolutely should not trust, just for the sake of sounding, how do I put this? Trying to bait them into clearing you back, if that makes sense. It's just kind of a weird thing that a lot of experienced players will read as imp behavior, but I took the chance that these people who haven't played with me much wouldn't, like Circuit's dead and most of the others haven't played with me a lot. Despite this, I throw out a vote on Banana because Anonymous is on, and I want to make it look like someone doesn't trust them, since I was pretty confident everyone was skipping because some people said to skip on 7 even though it was 8. So here I'm hanging out in boiler slash O2, hoping to either target kill Banana or just get a clear when Krish hopefully kills. So here, go to admin. I see 3 lab and no one else on the map, so I just take that as an opportunity to vent up to lab, see if I can snipe someone, but by the time I got there, everyone was gone. I see the lights get called, so I know that Krish is probably about to go for a kill, so I get seen on cams going into vitals, and now I just want to be near like the vitals admin area so I have an alibi for when Krish kills. I also briefly considered trying to kill the specie person and then blame Rose for it, or at least be seen in specimen for an alibi, but as we'll see in a second, that wouldn't have worked. because Krish killed left office, which is like the one place that would make me look sus, which is really unfortunate. Obviously, they didn't know, it's just kind of unlucky. Also, Krish tried to fake the scan in front of a bunch of people and they weren't buying it, so yeah, at this point, this was pretty rough. I kind of figured at this point the only way we could win was on kills. I didn't think we were going to survive another meeting. The only other person who was really sus was like maybe Rose. I also decide here to bring up my light sus on Krish from round one again, just in case one of us gets voted here, which I thought was very possible. Here I just casually remind people that it's 7, which is basically me just trying to bait people into skipping. I asked the question about lights just to like explain why I'm saying that. Yeah, I think at this point people were really sus on me, but because it's 7 without like lights on and several other people aren't clear, I think I just barely survived, which, yeah, I think if this had gone on one more round, either me or maybe Krish would have got voted. If you hadn't figured it out from my last statement, my plan going into this round was 3 kills. So I see 2 lab, 202. So I'm like, okay, where's a good place to get the first kill? Either Spessy or O2 hallway. I opted for Spessy, but then Krish did lights. So I was like, oh, that kind of messes up my plan. Because that means they've probably gone for a kill somewhere else. So I deliberately don't try to snipe one of the scan people because of that. I want to go for a hidden kill. So I go back down to office to guard the button. Unfortunately, by the way, I had to mute this last clip because of background noise. So yeah, anyways, I know Krish has already killed, so I go for that kill in office, hoping that they're about to get the final kill. And then, like, I'm just waiting on Krish here.